Storybook Brawl was nice enough to send me some dust codes, so I'm doing another giveaway. Stick around to the end of the video to find out how you can enter to win.
What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven, and today I am back with my first game of the July ranked ladder reset, and it's quite a doozy. We are going to be playing with Apocalypse, which I think is a pretty strong hero, or at least a hero that allows you to do some pretty strong things. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the Slay on the first turn with the Polywoggle, but we are going to get to pick up 2 units on turn 2 thanks to this Forbidden Fruit. I also forgot to mention yesterday, one of the reasons that I uploaded that Peter Pants video, and it was all a little bit rushed, you might have been able to tell because of the 4th of July holiday in the United States, but that video was also the game where I got my 400th crown, which is pretty cool because it's a number that is divisible by 100. So kind of cool there. We are going to get the Polywoggle Slay on this turn, and this sets us up pretty well for some powerful stuff. We can now have this Trojan Donkey, and we can pick up a Easter egg, which could potentially allow us to win a For Glory on the turn where we are going to level up. So I'm going to start by picking up the Humpty and the Tiny before selling off my Blind Mouse to pick up this For Glory. And I think that we have pretty good odds to win here. We are up against an undefeated Evella, but with a level 3 unit and a Humpty Dumpty, I do still like our odds, and that is going to be enough to win. We can already tell looking at this combat. It actually gets pretty close. We almost have our egg get cracked, but we're going to win that one either way. That's going to give us a bonus Shadow Assassin, and that is a pretty interesting unit here. I like some of what we can do. We can pick up another Shadow Assassin so that we've got a pair of those, and we can also pick up a Baby Root using our last 2 gold to support Donkey and Tiny, 2 units that can definitely appreciate getting a little bit more bonus health to work with here. And we can still backline the egg. I think that that's probably the best use. One thing that we could do, though, is backline the Sherwood Sure Shot and frontline the Shadow Assassin, but it'll just play a little bit better around Earthquake. But it's not going to matter. We are going to have an opponent here that does not have too much of anything going on. They upgraded a Polywoggle and have not upgraded it yet, and got a treasure that did not impact their board. I go for a Shard of the Ice Queen on the Donkey, hoping that maybe we could get either a Spellweaver or the 3rd Shadow Assassin, but unfortunately we just get Darkwood Creeper, the absolute worst evil unit to pick up. I'll pick up a pair on the Sherwood Sure Shot, and from here I think I am going to just not play the Darkwood Creeper, and then we will backline the Sherwood Sure Shots like I was talking about on the last combat. I think about selling off the Darkwood Creeper and picking up the egg, but after some debate I realize I probably should just pick up Vampire here, and that's going to mean that I'm selling off my other egg to pick up Vampire and then actually just frontlining both of those Sherwood Sure Shots in the end regardless. But now this gives us a Vampire that can actually slay, and that's going to give us a pair of 3/4 Shadow Assassins, which is just enough to win this combat. We also get to grab some prized pig gold, so we're doing pretty good for an Apoc here. Going on 3.2 right now. Definitely will want to pick up some XP at some point, so that's definitely something to consider. And I will stop down here for a second, though, and pick up a pair of Wicked Witches. I think that those are just good stats to provide to the rest of the board. It's a little bit awkward because we'll have to frontline all of our ranged units here, but ultimately I think that it is going to be pretty good for us. 43 health. Gotta be feeling pretty good about my chances here right now against this 25 health Gwen, but of course they have a hero power, so maybe they're doing something sweet themselves. It looks like they used it on a Happy Little Tree, and this combat is not going to be too much of a problem for us. So we'll walk out of this one with another Slay on Vampire and another win. And on 4.0, we've got some extra gold for my opponent's prize pig, and we are immediately going to pick up a Turkish Delight, roll into the end. So I'll probably want to lock onto this one as well. And from here, I can pick up either Puff Puff or Amy with my 4 gold remaining. And then I can just, the end, whichever one of those units that I pick up, though I realize that Puff Puff actually does increase the power of my board a little bit. It's got, 8 stats more than Tiny, and it'll grow each turn. So it's probably better to just pick up the Puff Puff and then plan on the ending Tiny next turn. And that'll shoot us up to 5.0, 2 XP up on the rest of the lobby. We haven't gotten any stronger this turn, really. We just picked up a Puff Puff. We might want to roll for some triples at some point because we've got the Shadow Assassin, the Wicked Witch, and the Sherwood Sure Shot. So some of that is getting a little bit awkward, but we do have these very large ranged units, though my opponent has large ranged units as well, thanks to the Quiver in the backline. I believe that treasure is called the Quiver, +3/+3 to your backline range units. Well, the end the Tiny, that puts us up to 5.0. Pick up a golden chicken and roll, and none of these things are particularly impressive. We could take Sporko. I think that rolling's definitely a better call though there, and here we actually see some really impressive units. Medusa is just really good, and Siren is also quite powerful with the fact that we are now on 5.0. So looking to sell some things, pick up Medusa, and then we'd have to play down a unit if we want to pick up the Siren, but I think we can just lock onto it as well. I really don't hate that. Next turn is the turn where we want to roll and lock XP. So I'm thinking picking up Siren will then allow us to roll 5 times for XP. And that's all that we really need to do next turn. That should be enough to keep us on par with the rest of the lobby. Siren just being a really, really powerful unit. I'd potentially stop down to pick up a triple of one of the units that I have a pair of. Mostly just looking to complete those XP, to find more XP. And win with that there. So going to go for the Siren, and then I'm just going to roll 5 times. We could Genie's Wish. It's not the craziest thing in the world. I'm actually just going to wind up picking up the Golden Chicken here. I think that that's slightly better than rolling to just bring the Econ into next turn. And then we're done. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here. I do wind up doing a little bit of dancing around with my units, but ultimately I decide on this. I think I like Siren in slot 2. There's definitely an argument for it in slot 3 as well, but I'm just hoping that something else gets attacked into, and that's exactly what happens here. So Siren is going to be able to steal a Stag. Unfortunately, the Stag doesn't stay evil when we steal it, so it won't get the buff up from the Wicked Witch, but that's still going to be enough to tie the combat, and then immediately we see the end here in this shop. So I'm going to pick up Shadow Assassin, pick up a tier 3 treasure, and treasure map is actually the treasure that I was looking for there, so pretty lucky. I'll then sell off the rest of my board and the end the Puff Puff. Small mistake there. I should have ended the Siren. Just wasn't fully paying attention to my board in that position. But now we've got 15 gold. We're 6.0, 3 XP up on the rest of the lobby, and a board full of tier 6 units. Could pick up Gumblegore. It's got some nice work with Doom Breath and Good Boy, but I think that we can do better than that. And Lancelot is definitely better than that. Lancelot is going to be able to activate this turn and give us a tier 7 treasure, which I love to find on Apocalypse. And that is going to, all we need is the Good Boy to die before the Lancelot takes damage. We could even put the Good Boy in the first position if we really want to guarantee that, but we don't need to do so. It should be able to die here. Unfortunately though, playing up against summons, so that means the Good Boy is unable to die, and the Lancelot won't trigger for us on this turn. And this is a close combat, but our Green Knight is actually just going to have enough stats to bring us home. So pretty good. I locked on to Echo Wood and Evil Twin. Echo Wood obviously doing really well with all the Good Boy shenanigans that we currently have going on. In order to pick up the Evil Twin, I'm going to have to sell 2 things, so I'm eyeing up selling Scion of the Storm and Doom Breath, but I think that this is just so early that we can just Evil Twin or Hercules here and use that to hunt for some more treasures and be totally okay. The one other thing that we can do this turn is, because the Lancelot slays, we don't actually need the health bonus on the Good Boy. We just want the Good Boy to die, immediately trigger on the Lancelot, and give us that sweet tier 7 treasure. So going to be going all in for that one this turn, and then using the Good +4/+4 on 4 different units. So Echowood will get +16/+16. After doing the math, it would make more sense to just play the Jormungand, which could have grown from the Lancelot. But regardless, we get the tier 7 treasure from Lancelot. We are also going to be playing up against another summons comp. So both of our other Lancelots, or both of our other Herculeses, are going to be getting a ton of stuff done as far as their quests are concerned. So a little bit awkward, we don't complete their quests, but we'll be able to complete them now. We get to pick up this magic sword to put that on Good Boy, and that will activate the good Hercules. It won't activate the evil Hercules because that's not going to be getting a buff from the Good Boy. But Magic Sword on Good Boy is a whole bunch of fun and really powerful with Court Wizard. So good to pick up another Good Boy and a Court Wizard here, and this is now a really impressive board, especially when you consider that this is like maybe 5.2 for the rest of the lobby. Still doing quite good in all of those capacities. I'm going to fire up a Queen's Grace on the Evil Hercules just because +7/+7 might give it that survivability that it'll be able to get in 2 hits. We're looking for a bulk point now, a defensive break point that it can hopefully get over that hurdle, and it doesn't seem like it's really going to matter here, but maybe it could have. Good Boy is going to get in and pump everything else up, and then the Court Wizard not really getting any bonus triggers here, unfortunately, but we are going to get that tier 6 treasure from Hercules, so we are able to get it done regardless. Ivory Owl was definitely the chief thing I was looking for, though I think it's hard to pass up Pandora's Box, especially because we're about to grab another tier 6 treasure from this Good Boy, and for that one, we can take the Ivory Owl. So I like that. Might have also had to consider Embiggening Stone if that had showed up, because that would have been able to pump up the Good Boy that was in the shop. So that could have also been worth considering, but picking up the Ivory Owls is great. Pandora's Box is also a bunch of fun. We'll grab another tier 7 treasure this turn. And then I'll do some spinning gold shenanigans and see what we can do, just winding up rolling down for the rest of the turn. But an upgraded Good Boy plus Court Wizard I think is really strong. That's also going to give a bunch of stats to Echowood. So, and then Hercules also only needs to attack once to grab us another tier 6 treasure. So all of this is just really fantastic here. Unfortunately, my Court Wizard gets shriveled, but my Hercules does activate. We are going to wind up taking a little bit of damage on this one. We take 10 down to 17, but we get a tier 7 treasure. That is the Radiant Prism. So that is a really sweet one, and by the looks of it, I know I mentioned Embiggening Stone, Spear of Achilles also pretty cute on Court Wizard when everything is a royal. But I think sticking with the Ivory Owls and the Magic Sword and the Radiant Prism are just too good of treasures to pass up. I'm also going to be grabbing a Lordy. That is going to give the Good Boy just additional stats at the start of combat, and then when we see this pumpkin, I think that I want that as well. The Bear Stain's kind of interesting because it can give +2/+2 to the Good Boy. So maybe I'll hang on to that one for a second, but I definitely want to pick up Pumpkin. That's just going to help prevent us from getting scammed in any capacity, and our board is just really strong right here. We've got the Good Boy giving everything +200 attack, and then Court Wizard firing off 200 damage anytime anything dies. So we're looking pretty good. Unfortunately, the Court Wizard's going to get fogged, which is fine because we still have the Good Boy as long as it dodges this Medusa, and it doesn't. So they actually get a full scam against us here. Though, I don't think it matters. Our units are just still too big, plus we've got the pumpkin, and that is really telling. The fact that we just got the worst scam that we possibly could have, and we actually make it out of this battle with a win, a kill, and cheaper spells off of an Aeon. So, pretty fantastic stuff all around. I'll pick up another Good Boy, add that to the crew here, and then I'll fire off a True Love's Kiss on Lancelot. I feel like there's a lot of pretty strong tier 6 units upgraded that we could grab, and Gumblegore is fine. It's still a ranged unit, so it's probably pretty good to have access to. Then I see another Court Wizard, and I feel like that's probably a little bit better of a ranged unit to have access to. They're both pretty good, but ultimately Court Wizard is going to get the nod there. So that's going to just make it even harder for me to get scammed, for those to get shriveled or fogged or anything else. They're also going to get pumped up by the Lordy, so they might just be out of shrivel range. They could probably still get smited, though, in the backline, so that is definitely something. But yeah, 25 health. Eventually, those will get out of range from the owls as well. Though it will die to falling stars here before getting that good boy buff. And now you can see Court Wizard just able to tear up the town here. We hit Wonder Waddle for 9 down to 9, and still have a little bit more of a game to play, but this is going quite well. We're going to be up against Gwen playing trees. And from here, I don't really remember how the rest of this game plays out. Oh, another Echo Wood. I guess that's pretty good. But I was going to say, like, I feel like no matter what happens from here on out, we are probably in the clear. That's going to be the end of this turn, and let's see how we fare up against these trees. They're going to Robin Wood, our good boy, and they attack first, which is always a little bit awkward when you have Court Wizards and good boys, but it's not going to matter because we are going to have the last attack and the last laugh with my opponent and knock them out, and that's actually it. Wonder Waddle either conceded or lost to the ghost or something. We were 100% win here. We could probably go back and see that we were, also we were 100% win against the Wonder Waddle. So yeah, we were winning this one. This was a pretty good way to start off the new season. Radiant Prism on Apoc, something that I've always said I'm a big fan of, or have said for the past month that I'm a big fan of, because you get all of these random units and then Radiant Prism just puts them all together in a very beautiful way. And this was a pretty straightforward Radiant Prism comp. But it's one that I think will be pretty common and just very powerful in general. Good boys, Court Wizards, maybe a Lordy, maybe some Echo Woods, and a bunch of really strong units. That's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace. Here's the details for my giveaway this week. Just leave a comment below on any of my videos that includes the word treasure. New week, new code word. The reason that I say to include the word, that way I can differentiate between the people just leaving a comment and those that are actually interested in the dust, to make sure that it goes to a person that will appreciate it. And there's no limit to how many times you can enter. You can go back and comment on some of my previous videos. I've been uploading daily Storybook Brawl videos for the past 7 or 8 months at this point, so I'm sure there is some sweet content that you have yet to see. And yeah, you can enter multiple times. I will do a new code next week. And the other thing that I wanted to say is that if a bunch of people enter, I will give away more codes. So that's just going to be limited by how many people are entering and how many people are commenting. Let's get this channel to over 1,000. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.